Okay, here we go. Court does call the case of the People versus Daniel Magoo.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ashley Lodge for the People.
Sir, state your name.
I'm here on a special appearance, Your Honor, for Magoo is Easy Elastical Trust, registered in Jackson County, case number 2522246.
Okay, is your name Daniel Magoo?
Your Honor, that is the name you seek, and it is copyrighted and trademarked.
Okay, very well. Ms. Magoo, are you represented by an attorney, or do you wish to be represented by an attorney on these matters?
I am not.
Do you wish to be?
No. Not at this time.
Let me then do this. You have two cases before this court, one being the case ending, let me get the full case number 25F40523. In that case, sir, the complaint does allege that on March 27, 2004, you committed the offense of operating while intoxicated. Do you understand what you're charged with?
I do not.
You do not understand
There's
that?
no eyewitnesses or corroborating witnesses at all.
I'm not asking whether or not the proofs are there. Do you understand what you were charged with?
I do not.
Do you understand the notion of drunk driving?
I do not understand how I could be charged with something without a
On
witness.
your other cases when you represent yourself, so we'll just do it.
Are you talking about the case that's in federal court right now,
You
Your
are
Honor?
before a complaint in that case for a charge of operating while intoxicated, third offense. Because it's a third offense, that is a felony. It is punishable by up to $500 to $5,000, up to 1 to 5 years incarceration. The court can order probation, 30 days to 1 year in jail, or at least 48 hours must be conserved consecutively. The court can also order community service, rehabilitative programs. The court can also order your vehicle immobilized, can order you to pay the cost of the prosecution, as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services.
As I am here and as a trust, Your Honor, I am here in exclusive equity. Exclusive equity.
You count 2 on that complaint is the charge of operating while license suspended, denied, and or revoked. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs, and your vehicle could be subject to immobilization.
My license is
Count
canceled,
3.
not suspended or revoked. It is
Count 3
canceled through the state
on
of
that
Michigan.
complaint
Canceled.
is the charge of escape from lawful custody. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year, a $1,000 fine.
I was never arrested or read any Miranda rights accordingly.
Given that the defendant is talking in English, that he understands English, understands the nature of those charges and what he's charged against.
So malicious prosecution by Washtenaw County prosecutor as usual.
Sir, there is great peril in representing yourself. You will be held to the same standards as anybody apply or for.
This is a matter under the Eastern District of Michigan Federal Court. Case number 2511226.
We're not represented by counsel. I would further indicate, sir, that at any point during these proceedings, if you wish to be represented by counsel, you can make that request to the court and counsel will be appointed to represent you. Because of the defendant's conduct in the past, in not acknowledging the court and what the court is saying, the court does make the presumption that he does speak English. He understands that. I would further state on the record that Mr. Magoo has been through this process before. He does understand that if he does wish to be represented by counsel, the court would give him counsel or would have counsel appointed to represent him in this matter. In the case 25F30979, in that case, sir, you are before a complaint that alleges that on or about July 3rd of 2025, count 1 is fleeing and eluding 4th degree.
Added on by the prosecutor's office after the fact.
That is a felony, punishable by up to 2 years incarceration and a $2,000 fine plus court costs, mandatory suspension by the Secretary of State.
My Secretary of State, anything is canceled. I have no contracts with the state of Michigan.
That is a misdemeanor charge.
This is a matter of trust, Your Honor. This is a matter of trust. I am protected under a trust.
90 days in jail, a $100 fine plus court cost. Count 3 on that complaint alleges operating a motor vehicle without security. That is a misdemeanor, not punishable by not more than 1 year incarceration and not less than $200 nor $500 fine plus court costs. Count 4 is operating while licensed, suspended, denied, and/or revoked. That is a misdemeanor.
All of my registrations are through the federal government. I have federal government registration. I do not have contracts with the
Vehicle could
state.
be subject to mobilization. Count 5 on that complaint alleges refusal to obey
I have an international driver's
police
permit.
officer. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $100 fine plus court costs. I would indicate to the defendant the same admonishments regarding the perils in representing oneself that I stated in the other case also apply to this case.
Were you served your notice and summons yet, Your Honor?
Wishes to have counsel appointed, the court would consider or would appoint counsel to represent him in this matter, and he apparently wishes to proceed.
Were you served your notice
Having
and summons
notice
for federal
of
court?
the charges, sir, do you wish to still proceed without an attorney?
I just want to know, where do you get
Do
your
you
powers?
wish
Are
to
you an Article
proceed?
3 judge or an Article 6 judge? Where are
Do
your
you
vested
wish to
powers? Can you
proceed
answer
without an
that?
attorney?
You can't even answer
look
me
it
what your
up.
powers are.
You can look it up.
No, you guys disconnected my access to any kind of law library or anything. You are an Article 6 judge under the Michigan Constitution. You have no authority to deprive me of my
Let's
rights.
see how much authority I have. I will assume that you wish
This is a matter
to
of
proceed without
trust.
counsel. I will assume you wish to proceed without counsel and that you will wish to continue to proceed.
Practicing law from the
To
bench.
inform the court otherwise. Ms. Lundy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is the court completed the arraignment for the record at this time?
Well, he had been arraigned. I was just admonishing him of the perils of representing himself and that it requires in part that I let him know what he is charged with. And I've read them kind of in fully, more so than I would have because he refuses to acknowledge those. So I am satisfied that he now knows all of the charges that are against him.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people would like to be heard on bond when appropriate.
All right. What do we want to set this for? Do you wish to have a preliminary examination, sir?
This is a matter of a federal matter now, Your Honor, under case number 2511226, under the Eastern District of Michigan, under the Honorable Mark A. Goldsmith and Magistrate Judge David R. Grand. There is no proceeding here, Your Honor.
There is no proceeding. Oh, there's a proceeding.
Well, malicious prosecution is what the proceeding is.
Okay, very good. Do you wish to have a preliminary examination?
There's no proceeding, Your Honor. This is a matter that should be stayed and
What is
dismissed.
people's position on whether or not we should set this for a preliminary examination or during the probable cause?
Your Honor, I don't know if the defendant has received all discovery in this matter as he is representing himself, so I would request a probable cause date, potentially.
Because you've got to send it.
Yeah, and who restricted my phone
Probable
calls?
cause conference. You know what? You're going to have to stop interrupting. I will give you an opportunity. You've been before me before. I will give you an opportunity to say whatever you want to say, but I'm not going to have you interrupt me, and I'm not going to have you interrupt the people when they're talking. As long as you were saying.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have to there's video evidence in addition to the paper discovery. I've got to make arrangements with Lieutenant Arnett to work on that, so it may take just a bit longer. I would potentially look at the 7th, maybe, if the court would have entertained that, and then I will wait to be heard on bond when the time is appropriate.
I will adjourn the probable cause August 7th, 2025, 9 a.m. As to bond.
Your Honor, I've been reviewing ex-jail, and I wanted to double check if the defendant had been arraigned. It's not clear to me from a couple of different things, but it does appear that he has been set with a $10,000 bond in 25F30979, as well as 25F40523, each $10,000.
Yes.
Your Honor, I do think it's important that the court have some additional information, and I would ask the court to revisit the issue of bond. First and foremost, I think it's important the court know that the facts alleged in the newest case, the 25F30979, it does include the fact that the Michigan State trooper who pulled the defendant over noted in his police report that the defendant had a license plate on his vehicle that indicated he was a diplomat and that he refused to identify himself. He refused for quite a bit of time. Additional units had to be brought to the scene from the sheriff's department in order to for lack of a better term, deal with the situation. And ultimately, they were able to identify him as the defendant, Daniel Magoo. The concern with that goes along with the other case, which is an OWI. It is charged as a third. I will note that it is a true fourth, to the best of my understanding. So there does appear to be an alcohol problem going on. And I also think it's important for this court to know, because I don't know that the court knows, the defendant has a third new case, telecommunications malicious use with a domestic relationship, that is currently pending as well. He's also been set $10,000, 10% in that matter. But I think
Where is that case out of?
that case is out of 14B, Your Honor, before Judge Washington.
A co-defendants with the federal case that you guys are both in, and this is a conflict of interest as both of you guys are defendants in my federal case.
Go ahead.
I also understand, Your Honor, that there is a municipal case out of Canton Township that was set for a jury trial in April of this year, where the defendant failed to appear. And there were jurors, there was a veneer that had been brought in. And I bring all of this up to say, Your Honor, that the people are concerned about the defendant's ability to remain law-abiding, because I'll also note for the record that at the time that the new resisting, obstructing, fleeing, eluding case and the telecommunications malicious use case came up, he was in bench warrant status before Judge Slay, is my understanding, for refusing to come after the case here had been bound over, refusing to appear in person. I say all of that to say this: I do think that $10,000 is too low, and I also am going to request a scram tether, because this is an OWI fourth alleged, as well as a GPS tether, given his history of failure to appear and failure to comply with court regulations. Thank you, Your Honor.
Is the bench warrant before Judge Slay still out?
She has bond denied in her case now.
His bond's been denied in that?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
Got it. Anything you'd like to say?
Anything to do with any contracts with the state of Michigan are void ab initio for a matter of law, as I have an canceled driver's license and I have an international driver's permit. And that also relates to the Canton case that they're trying to stick me for a driving unlicensed suspended citation, in which that I have an international driver's permit, making it also void. All of my matters, including the vehicle that I'm registered under, are registered to the federal government, not the state, under the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. All of these charges are frivolous and a part of a long pattern of malicious prosecution by Ms. Londy, the Washtenaw County Prosecutor's Office, and quite frankly, you, Your Honor.
Hearing argument regarding bond, the court does believe that it was an abuse of discretion, given the circumstances of this defendant, to set his bond at the $10,000 figure. After hearing argument, viewing the file, the court does believe that not only does the defendant pose a risk to the public,
No victims.
I believe that the defendant is a risk of flight given those circumstances, and has indeed, or at least is charged in this case, refused to obey or fled and eluded.
That was added on afterwards. The police officer did not report that at all.
The court, given those circumstances, would in each case raise the defendant's bond, grant the people's motion. Defendant's bond in each matter is set in the amount of $50,000 cash here. Thank you.
The tethers I requested, if he is able to post, Your Honor.
I will.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This courtroom hearing follows defendant Daniel Magoo, who refuses legal representation and repeatedly challenges the court's authority using sovereign citizen arguments. He claims his name is copyrighted, insists that state laws do not apply to him, and argues that his international driver's permit and federal vehicle registration exempt him from Michigan law. Despite the judge's repeated attempts to explain the serious felony and misdemeanor charges, the defendant continually interrupts with legal theories instead of addressing the accusations. The hearing takes a dramatic turn when the prosecutor reveals the defendant's extensive history, including multiple pending criminal cases, a prior bench warrant for failing to appear in court, and an incident where he falsely claimed diplomatic status during a traffic stop. Based on this pattern of behavior, The prosecution argues that he is both a flight risk and a danger to the public. The judge agrees, rejects the defendant's arguments, and increases his bond from $10,000 to $50,000 cash in each case. The hearing ultimately demonstrates that challenging the court with sovereign citizen claims carries no legal weight and can significantly worsen a defendant's situation.